Oh my goodness, what does it cost to address one yellowed washing machine valve box like this one? Well, if you've been watching any of this series, you know I've been redoing the laundry room a little bit just because it needed to be done. And really the movement for this, the impetus, was that the floor had pulled away a long time ago. Roll vinyl flooring. And I'm not against I don't turn my nose up against it. If you're trying to get it in a house or need a quick fix and you're on a severe budget, that roll vinyl will work. And I like it because it's a single membrane and it's waterproof. But a lot of people turn their nose up on it. And anyway, I just needed to fix what I had. And it's a little bit wieldy for me to work with those big roll stuff. So I chose to use some vinyl plank. But that's a different video. This one is, how do I address this ugly yellow box? Now, I'm going to paint the whole room before it's over. And I'm going to work on it. And I'm going to start at the top, because if I'm going to put a floor in, I might as well wait till after I get everything painted and updated to do it, just in case. And I did. Here's the finished box. We can look at that, and we can also see that you can still see the yellow box. This is the white one now, but you can tell that you could still see that yellow box if the whole rest of the room is all brightened up and pretty. So how much does it cost just to make the yellow go away? If you like this content, please go to calldelltosell.com, find the tab that says on YouTube, click it, and it'll open up a page of QR codes. There you can use a smartphone to scan and get to the YouTube page, or you can just mouse over and click it on a PC. There you'll be able to subscribe to this little button over here and click the notification bell so that YouTube will notify you. Thank you. Well, let's go look at what a valve box costs. I got a screen keyed up here. This is nothing more than Google looking for washer box lows, okay? Here's one, shark bite, ball, quarter turn. I like quarter turn versus the saddle valves, but that's 50 bucks. Now here's one, Oatly. Oatly is a very reputable brand in the plumbing business, and it's got one for 44, and it's quarter turn copper sweat. So that's a different type of valve. This is shark bite, that's copper sweat. This one right here at Supply House is cheaper, but I imagine you have to pay freight on that to get it in, so that's going to bring the price up and you have to wait. It's for PEX, all right? Now, most of your new homes these days are done with PEX tubing, because it's basically a roll type of pipe. I call it a tubing because it comes on a roll, but you get to have much faster installation because you use a crimp tool, and you don't have to do all the welded joints with, say, CPVC or PVC, and you don't have to sweat them like you would copper. And of course, my house, when I built it, was on a well, so I have to worry about MIC, or microbiologically influenced corrosion, because they'll eat copper. The conditions that they have will eat copper, so I didn't do that. Well, here's another one, Oatly. This is for copper, okay? That's $67, but notice what's so high about that. It's got these water hammers on it. Now, you can get it usually with either copper water hammers or stainless water hammers, and that just keeps the shock of the pipe when the valve shut off, when the solenoids in the washing machine kick out. Now, my washer is old. I didn't realize it was that old. It seemed like just the other day I bought it, but when I was rehabbing the room, I realized that from the marker date I put on the back of that washing machine, it was 2013 when I put it in. I think 10 of 2013 when I bought it, put it in. So it's coming up on 10 years, and my dryer is older than that. And I'm not about to change that bad boy out because it's been converted to a side discharge so that I could get a little bit more room in there to work. And of course, I used to have a lot of trouble with it, so I'm intimately familiar with how to repair it, because I had someone living in the house with me who wouldn't clean the lint trap out, and would put it on fluff and use those dryer sheet that gum up the vents and everything. And I used to have to replace those heating elements, and at one time a thermostat, as well as maybe rollers and a belt. So after you've put a new motor and all that in there, after a while, it just works better. You know how to use it. I'm just not going to replace that. It may not be trendy, but it works, and it's paid for. Now, we look at what these valve boxes cost. You'll notice that each one of them has ears for mounting. You have to mount them on something. Here's just a slip over bracket on one side, and I just recently put a refrigerator box upstairs, and so they are expensive for a piece of plastic. It's a piece of plastic, and a molded plastic, and two valves. Why in the world does this cost 50 bucks? Now, maybe a plumber could do it, but I'd have to pay the plumber. And of course, to get the new valve box in there, I've got to cut a big hole in the wall. And of course, I do a little bit of sheetrock, so I could probably patch it enough to get by. but I'd also have to paint it too. So what do you think it would cost to address one yellow box? And look, from the finished picture here, you can still see it. So if I didn't do that, if I didn't replace it or something like that, I won't have this one nasty looking yellow box and the rest of the room looking nice and fresh. So let's see if I fixed it. Here's the after picture. It looks like pretty good to me. How did I do that? Well, it's really not that difficult. Hello, I'm Dale Delbridge of Benchmark Realty, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. If you are currently unrepresented and would like to know how to compare up to 3 properties side by side and room by room, then go over to my new YouTube channel, Call Dale to Sell. That's one L in Dale, no spaces. Watch the demo on Real Scout and then call me and we'll set up your exclusive ad-free account today. All I did was paint it. I'm going to paint it anyway. I haven't put the new floor in just yet, so I can mask over it. I was going to paint the cabinets anyway, so I just mask over and paint it. The trim ring comes off. We can take that out to the garage and paint it a couple of 3 or 4 times with, say, Krylon paint. I like Krylon. It dries quick and it dries hard, and they have a series that actually will work with plastics. So I sprayed the ring, sprayed the unit. I like to use electrical tape around the base of the valves because it conforms really well. And then I use maybe masking tape or something else on the top, leaving the knob off the hot because I painted it red. Now, you probably recognize those hose caps. And another reason why I have hose caps is because to paint that red knob, I need to open that valve 180 degrees because I can only spray down on it from one direction. And I don't know where the valve is going to end up, so I need to spray it too. So there's a little bit of blue masking tape on top of the information on the valve and painted that thing red. And what do you think? I figured used about a half a can of paint. Paint's about $8. So I figure I probably got $4 in this fix in a little bit of time. And if you don't want to buy paper and you don't have plastic, I suppose you could get your groceries in some paper bags for a few days and then use them for masking paper like I did here. So either which way, I just thought it adds so much to the room if we can get that old ugly yellow out of our room. And there's an easy way to fix it that doesn't involve hiring plumbers. It doesn't need a plumbing permit, and we don't need to get sheetrockers in or painters in. We can probably handle all that ourselves. And what do you think? One last time, look at this picture. $4 to fix the before and after. So I appreciate you watching. Subscribe to the channel so that you get new content like this. It's to give you some ideas that you can do. I try not to do anything that's hinky or not quite right. I like to be above board. And again, I don't give advice, but I show you what I did. And leave your comments to if you think it's worth $3 or $4 at a half a day's worth of work, because you got to let the paint dry about an hour between coats. What do you think? Please let me know.